I found an old diary in my grandparents' attic, and now I wish I hadn't. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to post something like this on Reddit, but after what happened, I don't know where else to turn. I need to get this off my chest. Last week, I went to visit my grandparents' old house to help my parents sort through some of their belongings. It's a sprawling, creaky old place that's seen better days, but I have a lot of fond memories there. As I was going through the attic, I came across an old trunk buried under dusty sheets and forgotten furniture. Curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to open it up. Inside, I found a collection of old family photos, a few antique toys, and at the very bottom, a leather-bound diary. The diary was so old that the leather was cracked, and it had a musty smell to it. I flipped it open and saw that it belonged to my great-grandfather, Edward, who I'd heard about but never met. The entries started off innocuously enough: daily life, local news, that sort of thing. But as I read on, the entries became more erratic, more frantic. Edward wrote about hearing noises at night, footsteps in the attic, whispers in the dark. The handwriting became increasingly jagged and the content grew darker. He spoke of a presence in the house that he couldn't see but could feel something malevolent and watching. He mentioned feeling eyes on him even when he was alone. I laughed it off at first, thinking it was just old man paranoia. But then I started hearing things in the house myself. Little noises, creaks, thumps that seemed out of place. I figured it was just the house settling, but the more I read, the more unsettled I became. One entry stood out, written in a hurried scrawl. It's getting closer. I can't escape. I see it in the shadows, and it whispers my name. The thing from the attic is not alone, it brings others. The final entry was the most chilling. It was dated the day before Edward died, and it read, "I've tried to leave. I've tried to run, but it's here. It has me. I can't." The entry abruptly ended there, as if he'd been interrupted. That night, I stayed in the house. I know, it was probably a terrible idea, but I didn't want to alarm my parents. I told myself I was being ridiculous, that it was all in my head. But as the night wore on, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Around midnight, I heard the same noises Edward had written about: soft thumping and whispering. I tried to ignore it, but then I heard something that made my blood run cold, a soft, almost imperceptible voice calling my name. I couldn't make out the words, but the tone was unmistakable, urgent and desperate. I got out of bed to check the attic. The creaky old stairs seemed to groan under my weight, and when I reached the top, the attic door was slightly ajar. I felt a chill run down my spine as I pushed it open and flicked on the light. The attic was empty, but the air felt heavier, as if something was pressing down on me. I was about to turn back when I noticed something on the floor, a fresh smear of dirt leading to the trunk. My heart pounded as I approached it. The trunk was now slightly open, and as I peered inside, I saw that the diary was gone. I searched the attic frantically, but it was nowhere to be found. I felt an overwhelming sense of dread and decided to leave immediately. I've been back home since then, but I can't shake the feeling that whatever was in that house is still watching me. I keep hearing faint whispers at night, and sometimes I think I see shadows moving in the corners of my vision. I don't know if Edward's presence is real or if I just let my imagination get the best of me. All I know is that I'm terrified and I can't seem to escape the feeling that something followed me back. I've never believed in ghosts, but I don't have any other explanation for what's been happening. Has anyone else experienced anything like this? I need to know if I'm losing my mind or if there's something sinister going on.